What's going on, everybody? Chase with iDub Hockey, joined today with Rob Gill, product manager for Warrior Hockey. We're at your headquarters here in Michigan with your Alpha 1 line in front of us. But before we start talking about tech and spec, and there's a lot of it inside both of these helmets, walk me through the overall fit profile.
For sure. So overall fit for Alpha, I would really classify as more of a round fit. It's got more of that shape in terms of the liner, and then you add the boa to it. Really helps accommodate that round head.
And so even if you do have a little bit more of an oval shape, especially with that Alpha 1 and that 360 boa, you're still gonna get a great fit too, right?
Oh, for sure. So it's a game changer. The boa system, you can literally dial in that perfect fit. And so with Alpha 1, it's a 360-degree wrap, so going entirely around your head. And even on the 1 Pro, it's a 270-degree wrap. So a lot of coverage there, again, to really be able to dial in that perfect fit.
And so that's a part of the OmniShock Plus system. But let's talk about BOA as itself real quick. So just in case someone doesn't know what the BOA system is, if they haven't seen it in another sport or the Warrior family here, walk me through what it is and why it's so much improved compared to a traditional system.
Yeah, absolutely. So what BOA is this dial on the back of the helmet. And I said earlier, dialing in the fit. You twist the dial, it pulls the back of the helmet closer. There's a cable that wraps internally through the entire liner of the helmet to really dial in that perfect snug fit for the head. And again, 270 degrees on the 1 Pro. So incredibly easy to use. One of my favorite features about it is being able to adjust it in game. You get on the bench, just a quick spin and you're ready to go. You're not taking gloves off and having to take your helmet off and everything like that. That part's really awesome.
And that's just so important for helmet and player safety, because there's that term that we say all the time in the industry is the helmet that fits the best protects the best, and that's got to give you some of the best fit in the game.
That's the name of the game for sure. You got to have the right fit. If it doesn't fit, it's not going to do its job, and so being able to dial it in and keep that helmet in place is definitely going to keep the player safer.
So we hit home the BOA system, and that's a part of the OmniShock Plus system that we see exclusively in the Alpha 1 here. What are the other key components to the OmniShock Plus, and what does that do for the player?
Yeah, so with OmniShock Plus, it's that combination of the BOA. We have a full EPP liner to really take those bigger hits, bigger impacts, a nice dense foam that really helps disperse that. What's really cool with the Alpha 1 are our Viconic inserts, and they are inserts that sit over the frontal lobe, the occipital lobe, and in the temples. It almost looks like an egg crate shape, okay. To give you a little bit of a visual on it. And the idea there, again, is to really absorb that energy and disperse it, to really move it away from the head and have the helmet take on that blow. So that's a huge piece. And then from there, you also have the comfort liner that sits on top. So having a helmet that sits really comfortable on your head.
And then circling back to the Viconics as well, it seems like you used in very strategic places. Why is that so?
Yeah, so we put it in those strategic places. It's really just a pure safety thing. Those are major points of impact, the front of the head, the back of the head, if you're getting knocked down and hitting your head on the ice or up against the boards, and the temples. They're major points of impact, and so having those Viconic inserts to help disperse that energy is going to keep the player safer.
That's awesome. So it's not just saving the best piece of protection for those key impacts, but really just strategizing about where you're going to have the biggest blows, obviously the front and the back, as well as the sides.
100%.
Now, to round us off here too, the thing that's really unique about the Alpha line compared to the Covert line is also the shell. They both look awesome, but I gotta say this Alpha shell is very sleek looking, and I'm guessing it has to do with the construction, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So it is sleek. That was really one of our goals with this. The helmets are very lightweight. It's a one-piece design, which is a very unique feature. Having the BOA really allows for that one-piece design. Mm-hmm. It's also nice and stiff. Again, it's about protection and safety and helping to disperse those impacts. Everything about this helmet, we work really hard to prevent hockey hits is really what we talk about with all of our helmets, and the shell plays a huge part in that.
And let's move on over to the Alpha 1 Pro. We kind of talked about it off camera. This thing is really fully loaded for the price point here. We see a lot of similar technologies that are maybe altered in places. So walk me through the differences and why that's just so impactful for that performance level player looking for great value.
Absolutely. So yeah, you hit it right on the head. The value is incredible here. We still get BOA. Again, it's only a 270-degree wrap. That's still a lot of wrap. It really is going to dial in an incredible fit for you. The other change is instead of Viconic inserts, we're using Impact's foam foam. So a really dense foam in those same key impact areas over the occipital lobe, the frontal lobe, and in the temple area. So really focus again on safety and protection in something at a much more approachable price.
And then last but not least, one feature that could be really cool, especially for those players that are playing a lot, maybe just throw their gear around. Sometimes it seems like people might lose padding once in a blue moon. Are these replaceable on the inside?
Yeah, absolutely. You can replace the parts on the inside of the Alpha helmet, so it's a really cool feature. Being able to, like you said, not all of us are that careful with our gear, throwing it around in a bag, in a garage, what have you. So being able to replace the parts if something were to happen is a really cool added feature.
Awesome, Rob. Well, once again, thank you so much for having us out here and walking us through the Alpha line.
Yeah, happy to do it.
And then for you at home that want to check out the entire run of helmets from Warrior Hockey, make sure you head over to icewarehouse.com.